There are some bright spots in the government where there are some thoughtful leaders like Congressman Tom MacArthur who are trying to do something about it. Congressman, good morning and welcome back to New Jersey 101.5.
Good morning, Bill. Good to be with you. And I have to add that I'm pretty sure I am half Italian.
Yeah. Now, see, I'll tell you, Congressman, you got to do this test. It was $100, and I spit into a cup and I sent it off. It took 8 weeks. I'm shocked by the result. I have no Ukrainian in me. How about that?
Well, I may just do it, but
you got to do it. You'd be surprised.
Both of my maternal grandparents were born in Italy, so I'm pretty sure I'm straight on my DNA there. But I'll have to figure it out.
You never know. You never know. You could have some Japanese in you. Who knew? That was a wild card. I had no idea I had Asian blood in me. How about that?
Well,
it's cool though. It's a neat thing. You find out how close the world has become, right?
Yeah, indeed.
So what's going on?
Well, and I think that very thought of how close the world has become, when you're dealing with something like the subject we're here to talk about, that's the heroin crisis. We are very much all together in a community on this, and it is really affecting all of us. I don't know anybody who doesn't know people that are
right
struggling with this or who have lost loved ones because of it. And what prompted me to do the thing I've done most recently was I've had a number of meetings with a family out in Burlington County, Lisa and Bill Vandegraft, and they had lost their oldest child to an overdose. And then their youngest daughter began to struggle, and just as we talked about it, they really began to help me understand that we want to protect people's individual rights, but there comes a point with somebody who's addicted where they're incapable of making a decision with any kind of sense about their own need for help. And so I have asked the governor and the legislature to craft a careful and fair involuntary commitment process for those struggling with substance abuse. And I'm really hoping that New Jersey can join the 30 or so states that already have laws like this in place.
Tell me how this would work, Congressman, because I've talked about this. I credit the California law. Well, obviously, I credit the mother, Lynn Regan, for going out to California and saving her son's life, literally. But because of that involuntary commitment in California, she was able to get him into the treatment that he needed. How would it work? Because the first objection people have is that people will lose their civil rights.
Well, and that's a fair concern, and I think any law has to be crafted so that doesn't happen. I think it starts with an understanding that when somebody is addicted to opioids or heroin or something, they can't make a rational decision about their need for help. And today, a parent of an adult child would have to, or a loved one would have to, petition the court to declare the person an incompetent. It could take months, and they could well be dead before they have the opportunity to do anything. This would allow a family like the Vandergrifts to appeal quickly to the court, to have their loved one put into a treatment facility for a limited period of time. They would pay the cost, the family would pay the cost of that treatment, and it would give the person a lifeline, a chance to get to clean and to stay clean. It would be brief. All the states that allow for this make it brief for that very reason, that you don't want to violate somebody's civil rights. But there comes a point after some weeks or a month in rehab where somebody that's been struggling with addiction starts to think sanely again.
Yeah. And
I think that's the bridge we're trying to create, is let's give people a chance for their loved ones to say enough, to go to a court and quickly get a ruling that this person can be committed for a time. And I think it's necessary. Unfortunately, it's necessary today. And I've talked to people that are in the field of helping people with addiction, and they've said whether somebody is committed voluntarily or involuntarily, the results are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I've heard arguments that, well, the person has to want to get clean. I think ultimately there's truth to that. Somebody will not stay clean if they don't have the will to do it.
But that doesn't mean on day one. Usually that means by day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, when they sober up. And we've seen that time and again.
It becomes a form of insanity, and people don't think straight. And I think you're right. You have to give them a chance to get past detox and past and start to deal with the issues that are driving them. A lot of people have demons they're struggling with, and we all struggle with things, and I think we need to help people get past that so they can have a chance at staying clean.
Yeah. Well, Congressman, I really applaud your efforts, and I will tell you this: I appreciate your efforts not just on the federal level, but also having the courage to kind of step out of the role of your specific office as a member of Congress and get that part of this has to happen at the legislative level here in New Jersey and with the governor. And you're just not afraid to step out of that box. And I think there are a lot of families out there that want to thank you. And I've got a ton of calls lining up right now just to say that they appreciate your effort. I've got to jump for traffic and weather, but I always appreciate our conversations, and I want to thank you for everything that you're doing to fight this epidemic.
All right, Bill. Thank you.
You bet, Congressman. All right, it was Congressman Tom MacArthur.